We're back.
Yes. Are we back? We never really left this time.
No,
We've been
no.
alright this week.
Yeah, but Kimbo took over again last week.
Oh yeah. Apparently we're staggering. It's gonna be. I'm consistent. You and Kim are variables. I am the constant same.
I don't like that though. I think I'm more suited for this role.
But then again, we can actually see what the difference is between who, like, if you're on it with me instead of always Kim on with me, because you can see like the views, like difference in views and analytics.
Well, there hasn't been too much difference in that sense, but there was a difference in the content I noticed compared to the first one we did and then last week's. Is that last week's was all just bodybuilding for like 25 minutes, whereas the one where we talked about it was did a quick recap on the comp and then it was Supps for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, which is
like. Without turning this into a sales pitch, I mean, this is to promote the Supp store and everything. And I always do laugh and giggle with Kimbo. I'm like, you don't talk about Supps hardly at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There's so many other avenues we can take this particular thing.
Yeah, go on.
Like, for instance, we can actually put like a spin on it. Like, for instance, today we can go, let's talk about first times. Not first times in that way, but I'm talking like first time. What was your first pre-workout? What was your first amino? What was your first supplement? What was the first product that you took personally before you started doing anything? And being in the industry for so long, and starting so young as you did, what was the first product that you used?
Oh, that's what we're jumping into right now?
We're jumping into that right now. We're jumping in head first. I'm taking over formatting for now.
All right, no. First protein I used
what was your first protein?
Body Ripped Mass Gainer. I don't know what it was called, but the brand was Body Ripped.
Okay.
I don't even know if they're still around. It was strawberry flavor, and I got it because I thought, hey, this is going to taste like Nesquik, and it tasted like absolute shit. Mm-hmm. It tasted like cardboard because everything tasted like cardboard then, which was the biggest alarm bell when I first started taking Supps. I was like, oh my God, everything tastes like shit because it all did. And that's been the biggest change over the last 13 years.
That's it. It's all about flavor.
Well, it's the same product. Like
the
mass gainer itself is the same. I agree it might have been better quality than some of the gainers we have now because it probably wasn't just 80% sugar. So quality of the product is probably the same. It's just it doesn't mix like concrete or taste like shit.
But you said you bought a mass gainer. Did you buy it purely because you wanted it to taste like Nesquik, or were you actually felt like, I'm gonna
we'll reiterate, like
kilos.
I didn't buy shit. Like I was
Let's not.
I walked into the shop and said, "Hey, I'm skinny," and Kimmo gave me a mass gainer.
There you go. So
I wanted strawberry because I assume, and this is still my philosophy with strawberry flavors, is that they should taste like Nesquik. That's the epitome of a strawberry flavor, or a strawberry milkshake is what they should taste like. They shouldn't be bland. They should be sweet.
Yeah. The closest one I've ever found, sorry to cut you out, but the closest one I found was True Max 600, not 1200.
Oh, the one in the red tub, the original True Max? Yeah.
Strawberry, to this day, is the god tier, the holy grail of strawberry for me personally. Now, I don't know if you've used the 600.
I have. I've used, not the strawberry in that one, but I've used the 600 in general. And that, like, I mean, it was also 75% sugar.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, which is
Nesquik.
Yeah, I want 100% sugar.
Well, there you could just add extra Nesquik.
Just go top. Pure Nesquik?
Yeah.
I think my favorite strawberry flavor, this is going off from the first product thing already, but my favorite strawberry flavor we talked about the other week in the AM chat is the farm fed strawberry Dippin' Dots.
That actually is second on my list now. And I think I said that.
See, it's first on mine, but it's also because I add like 60 grams of pure carbs to it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm adding sugar to it.
So you're totally making a Nesquik.
Yeah. And it's awesome. Like, so you get 30 grams of protein.
Coming soon, Australian Muscle Nesquik protein, strawberry flavor.
If I ever make a protein for the shop and it's going to be strawberry flavor, I'm going to go to the manufacturer with a can of Nesquik and say, this is the flavor.
I want to say Mr. Nestle.
I'm saying I'm going to go flirt with the line of getting sued by Nestle. That's how close I want the flavor to be strawberry Nesquik. Because it has to be. Like, it's got to be good. Otherwise, why are we taking strawberry?
The last thing you want to do is go, this is not taste like Nesquik.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to know I'm taking a protein powder.
The first protein I ever took, the first product I took, I should say, was the Vital Strength Ripped.
Oh, yeah.
In the green tub, and it was blue. It had a black,
isolate, wasn't it?
It had a black and green label, and it was ripped. And that's right. Me being me, I thought this product was going to make me freaking shredded.
Yeah.
it did nothing.
The Vital Strength Hydroxy-Ripped.
Yeah. It did nothing.
Vital Strength is a Woolworths brand now.
I think it's more likely in the chemist warehouses.
Yeah.
Coles have their, like Coles and Woolies have their own thing now. Coles Perform or Woolworths Perform or that sort of thing.
Yuck.
Yeah, let's get them in. We should do a straight up like a side by side comparison of good protein.
Oh, look. In terms of the protein, I'm sure it's fine.
Sure,
that's what
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, like it might be protein. It might be just shredded, like shredded Chinese newspaper. Yeah,
it's apple. Ping.
Yeah. Power source bars.
Great Simpsons reference. So that's a ding.
What else were? So what first product still? Are we still on that?
Yeah, we're still on that.
So what was the next ones?
The next one, I would say, what would be your first amino acid?
Well, see, the first amino acid was quite a while into the shop because aminos, when I started, weren't a thing.
Yep.
They literally weren't. Like it was, you got a pre-workout and there was Celtec and...
That there Celtec.
Yeah, there was Celtec protein powders and pre-workouts.
Yep.
That's basically it. So then the first one I tried was Extend.
Hey, yeah, the first one I tried was Extend.
First Scivation Extend when it was in the full black with this
massive top.
Yeah, big X across the thing. It wasn't even the silver label at that point. It was just a black and a big X on the front.
Yep.
And that one was the first one I tried, and that kind of ruined amino acid formulas for me because it tasted so good. It was so, but it was so absurdly sweet.
Yeah.
And I got a massive sweet tooth. So that one I really found was good. But then it also kind of annoyed me because every tub, and I think they took it off the market for every tub went like an absolute rock within like 3 days because nobody knew what desiccant packets were at that point because nobody was making products that clumped.
My first as well actually was Extend.
Yeah,
it was grape flavor.
Yep.
It was ridiculously sweet because it turned out they had about 7 grams of unlisted ingredients.
Yeah, it was awesome. It probably had 7 grams of sugar in it.
Pure sucrose in there.
Yeah, awesome.
And it still is one of the best tasting aminos to this day.
The lemon lime flavor in that one is the epitome of the perfect lemon lime flavor.
I don't remember that.
It was unreal. Yeah, I don't want to get sued. And but best tasting product. So actually, there's the positive from it. Is that we're promoting something.
Don't sue us. Yeah. You make a good product.
Yeah.
It's made
great.
Good product.
Yeah. I don't even know. It's not even really coming into Australia anymore. So Extend too much. It's just way too hard to get. But that would be amino wise. That's the first one in that sense.
Okay. Last but not least, and I think everyone's looking up, waiting for this. The first pre-workout, because I didn't use a pre-workout up until I was about a year into my journey.
Okay.
But my first one is I dove in head first, blindfolded. So I'm going to let you go first with your first one. I was like, I'm talking first pre-workout. I'm talking first caffeinated beverage that has a multitude of ingredients that's supposed to help you in the gym.
So actually listed as a pre-workout?
It did say it was
MRI black powder.
Oh, shit. I remember that one.
So MRI black powder, it was $129.95 for 25 serves because all pre-workouts were. Because at that point we had black powder and it was in a big hexagonal box for some reason.
Yep.
And it looked like the most triumphant thing. Like it was about
You could probably find a photo. You could easily find
a photo. If I do, it'll be on there.
Yeah, it'll be on the table.
So that was the first one I used. I used it before a soccer game, actually. Not even before weight training.
Okay, yeah.
And that was pretty awesome then. It also had, I don't know if that one had DMAA. I don't think it did at that point because they then made one of the ultra concentrated formulas. So that was the first pre-workout. Yeah. And then after that, it was then the original Super Pump 250 and the original No Explode.
Yep.
And the original No Explode had Yohimbe and 400 mgs of caffeine and maybe ephedrine. I don't even know.
There was
a few things in there that were not meant to be in there. So all of those were really in circulation. And then the other one that I had, because a customer of ours just gave it to me and I was 17, I think, at the time.
All right.
And he's like, you just got to try this. It's like an initiation thing. What was the name? ALR Industries. They had a product called Poison. And it was like a little capsule product. Yep. And it was a 1 capsule dosed product. and that had yohimbe, ephedrine, and like 200 mg of caffeine in it. And for anybody that hasn't used ephedrine, it's one of the, like, I'm so happy it's banned.
Oh yeah,
because it's terrifying when you don't know it's in a product. I was sitting there and like for the whole day, just yeah.
My first one, and I'm talking very first, I was 17. Sorry, I was 18, and I probably started lifting, I said a year into it. It probably wasn't a year. It was more like, 4 or 5 days. So, you start off. Anyway. It, in fact, was the original Jack 3D.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that was way down the track.
That was... Now, for everyone who is younger than us, probably has heard of Jack 3D. You probably would have heard of Jack 3D Micro.
Now, I think people have still heard of the original.
Of course they have. Everyone has heard of this. And I was actually explaining to, a couple of younger trainers a few weeks ago of the serving size.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I think, 4.5 grams. It was something like that.
Yeah, but I think active ingredients, it was like less than 2 grams.
Yeah, there was nothing in it. It was literally just, but what was in it, however, was some very, very dangerous products, as we know now, if used in excess.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's dangerous if you used multiple scoops.
Yes, and here is a story time for you. Now, I remember taking Jack 3D. I remember taking it before I went to work. I was working in a bar at the time, so I was like 3 a.m. to at the midday, did that night shift. Horrible life. But I went there pinging out of my brain every single time because I was taking,
You're the reason it gets banned. You're the person.
I was the person who still took 1 scoop. However, there was a time I did take 2. And I remember my mum catching me. Saying, if you take too much of that, your heart is going to explode. Yeah. And I said, nah, never going to happen. This is just ridiculous. It's never going to happen. 2 weeks later, there was the, 2 people died due to their hearts, actually.
Yeah.
But that was apparently
crazy.
because of the caffeine content.
No, I don't think so. There wasn't that much caffeine in that.
There wasn't, no.
I think it was only like 125 milligrams of caffeine. But when you have DMAA, it's... amplifies everything.
It's like putting your car next to putting a supercharger on your car when you already have a turbo. It's not going to do much, but it's there. Yeah, in a way,
it's definitely an ingredient that because we still get asked for it virtually every week. I think there's somebody that either references or slyly asks for it. It's an ingredient that I think was great at the time, but it's so good it's banned, and it's helped products get better. Because companies were so lazy with it. Because you could make a product and you could make it so cheap because all you need is caffeine, DMAA, and you put like a gram of beta alanine and people would be just...
powder.
Yeah, I wish. They'd be off their head in a good way. Yeah. And you'd be able to train for hours and you feel great, and then you'd feel depressed afterwards and be able to eat. But... you could make a product so quick and easy, and that's why products were there were so many. There was hundreds of these products, and companies were able to churn them out by the boatload just continuously because they're so cheap to make. When it got banned, it made companies have to, change their products because they had to then go, hey, we've got to use a variety of stimulants because we can't just rely on, hey, we'll just jam it with DMAA and a bit of caffeine. That's it. So it revolutionized is a shit word.
It made the industry have to expand.
They had to put effort in because they had to then go, hey, we don't have a product that's so stimulant based and so awesome in the stimulant side of things. We've got to then make you feel something else from it, and that's where things like that things like a pump formula was actually added to a product. Yeah. Because before that, it was like, you could say there was a bit of arginine in there, but it wasn't doing anything. So companies have to start going, hey, we'll do, what's a clinical dose of ingredients? And we'll put things in there for endurance or mental focus or a pump or power output or XYZ, rather than just going, it's just stims, deal with it. Yep. Which is what they were doing. So it's kind of then made companies make well-rounded products that are actually give you a performance benefit rather than just a stimulant benefit.
But if given the opportunity, I 100% would use Jack 3D again, without a doubt. Because not only because I want to chase that dragon, as the kids say these days. It's also
kids say that a lot.
The kids say that a lot. I hear it every day. On the bus. Yeah. Where I don't. Haven't caught a bus in years. But also the part of me that goes, is this as good as I thought it was? in comparison to where it is now? Is it as strong as I thought it was?
I think I think a lot of people probably will realize if they took those products, they weren't that great. Because you're not getting anything else. Like your energy, you probably will be better.
Yeah.
But I find that's a diminishing returns thing anyway, because it's like once you start training, everybody's all right. It's if everything else you feel in a pre-workout is better now.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
So you're getting a better product and better feeling now. Whether the energy is quite as like, hey, I just took a bunch of drugs feeling.
Yeah.
No.
The crash was essentially the same. I remember I was comatose in a chair after using 1MR.
I hated, hemorrhage was the worst for that.
Hemorrhage, that's still around. And if you read it, it says hemorrhage, and you feel like you're hemorrhaging. You feel like you're dying at the end of it.
I hated hemorrhage.
Me too,
it
I'm on the
tasted
boat there.
like, that was one of the worst tasting products on the planet. Next to...
Nox.
Binox.
That tasted like methylated spirits.
Nah, the worst one was Dorian Yates. We're going off on a tangent here. Yep. Dorian Yates, the first one that he brought out when it was in some box and sachets was called Nox Pump.
Yep.
And on the back of the product, he actually wrote, this product tastes like shit not for pussies.
Yeah.
And I think that got removed because like eventually he realized that maybe I can't just sell to the hardcore audience. But that product tasted like shit. And
I remember using it, and I have to agree.
Yeah, it was heinous. Like
There's been some horrible flavors in this industry, and it's one of those things where it's like, did you quality test this? Raspberry Civation protein. Did you ever try the raspberry isolate Civation?
No.
Green
they had
tub.
an isolate?
They had an isolate, yeah.
Are you thinking Cytec?
Cytec.
The bright fluoro, like the green fluorescent. I mean, not fluorescent, but the green.
One.
That's Cytec.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, it's all
yeah.
That was probably the worst tasting protein next to, sorry, Dorian, if you're looking, your freaking protein with that egg albumin in it.
Tempro,
yeah.
Tempro was delicious.
No, not
I
for
love
me.
Tempro. The banana Tempro was insane.
The egg whites in it threw me off. It was chunky. It shouldn't have flakes in it. It shouldn't have leave residue in your tongue.
Tempro is
I'm
good.
sorry, it was awful. Right, I think we've gone enough tangents for today.
No, I like Tempro.
Yeah, this is. Oh well, hey, well maybe we'll add that to another list of things of like making like the worst and best proteins and give or take that we've used in the past.
I got a good list.
Yep.
Actually, we'll do that maybe next week or the week after.
I've got a list.
Actually, let's do that. We'll come up with I don't want to get sued.
What do you mean? That's called. It's called right of expression. Just because you say something tasted bad doesn't mean you're.
We'll always just preface it with allegedly it tastes like shit.
No, it did taste like shit. If you had it and it tasted like shit, to you it tastes like shit.
Allegedly, this brand made a shit product.
That's saying that. That's conjecture. That's different. But if you said taste wise, awful.
Okay.
I think that's
all right. We'll figure out the logistics of that.
We'll contact the lawyers
because I still deal with a lot of these companies daily. I don't want to trash their products too hardly.
Oh, I've done it before.
Yeah, and then I have to deal with them.
Yeah.
Well,
hang on. Take with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
I'll be better. Right. That's enough of that.
Shall we talk about some subs we currently stock?
We can. Yes, definitely can.
I want to talk about the core range because I don't even know if we've talked about it properly.
We touched base on it very lightly, me and Kimmo, when we had the full range here.
Yeah, so they've come in recently. So we've got 5 products from them. The 2 pre-workouts, the non-stim and the pre, so Fury and Pump. The 2 fat-burning powders, which is Shred and Burn, one being a non-stim, one being a stimulant-based fat burner. And then Sear, which is like a recomposition product plus a fat burner. It's kind of a unique one. You can kind of chuck it in with anything. Non-stim capsule as well, which is cool. So you can stack it on top of other things, but it's not like just a typical thermo. But I kind of want to touch base on the pre's because I used both of them today.
Yep.
And I'm a person of complete and utter excess when it comes to these sort of products.
I'm 100% on board with you in that, and I'm in that boat as well.
So most people would look at the formulas of these because they are completely juiced sort of formulas with everything just being so, clinically dosed, but then some of it just being ridiculous at a certain point too. So I went 2 scoops of each. So it gave me like 12 grams of citrulline. It's one of the best pre-workout combos I think I've used in a long time. You just feel nuts on it.
Well, I'd imagine so. I mean, even on top of that, you'd be getting an extra 6.5 grams of beta-alanine. You get an extra 5 grams of betaine nitrate. So you've got this crazy amount of vasodilation as well as muscle cell volumization. And cell volumization due to what that glycerol is Oh God, yeah, you feel like a god.
Oh, yeah. Feel awesome.
Literally on the Aussie Muscle chat, I said I was like, I would stack this and this together. And Kim was like, don't be stacked with anything. I was like, right.
It doesn't. Look,
but it should be.
It's totally a product that I completely went overdosed on everything.
And you had the best workout.
Oh, yeah. But it's not. I wouldn't necessarily say it's essential.
You're only getting 250 milligrams of caffeine.
I thought it was 350, wasn't it?
Or
2 scoops?
Yeah, 2 scoops, 50 milligrams of caffeine and hydra.
Yeah. And there are other stims. So I think it totals around about that 350 mark with everything in there. I don't know. We'll do a proper breakdown one day on it, Matt. We might not. I don't know. But really, I'm not going to. I'm not
non-blase.
I'm
nonchalant that we might do it. If this video gets...
let's not even playing that game.
Yeah, Ari would do it by himself.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. But it's a really well-rounded sort of formula if you do just use Fury just on its own.
Yep.
That was a big tap. If you just use Fury on its own, it's a really well-rounded stimulant-based sort of formula. Doesn't hit you like a ton of bricks, but you just feel awesome on it. Mm-hmm. And then I can vouch that if you do want to go excessive, 2 scoops of this on top is just disgusting. Yep. Otherwise, even just 1 scoop is a really good all-rounder sort of formula. Yep. Or 1 of each if you want like a normal person pre-workout. Yeah. But we're excessive.
There's a reason why we do this, so you don't have to.
No. You have to.
No, we shouldn't put that in. Go on, kids.
Nah, I'm not marketing this to kids. I'm marketing this to adults that can make their own decisions of try 2 scoops of each.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, 1 of each is the perfect spot where you just get a really well-rounded sort of feeling, or then 2 and 1. Or 2 on its own.
Or 1 and 2 if you really want to be.
Yeah.
Hey, it's completely up to you. You're the creator of your own world.
But, really well-rounded sort of pre-workout sort of formulas. If you're looking for something stackable, both of them together, solo, really, can advise that they work.
Yeah.
And this is where I think they shit on the formulas like Jack 3D.
Yeah, they do, but they still don't have that good old drug.
And the other one I want to touch on is Core Shred.
Yep.
So this is the non-stim thermo. Have you used it yet?
I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, it's an interesting product because on paper you look at it and it does have just nothing but thermo ingredients in there. But it's one of the most excessive thermos I think I've used. It's almost uncomfortable with how much you sweat, which is awesome if you're not just going to work afterwards. Yep. But if you're looking for a non-stim thermo, something to take before cardio sessions, I'd advise making sure you have enough time to have a shower and a shirt afterwards. Really great non-stim fat burner.
Beautiful. Well, my workout stack is going to be 2, 2, and 1. So I'll let you know how that goes. That's going to be putting that whole, testing that thermo, but also pushing that. I want to be so dehydrated. It's going to be awesome. No, but I actually am going to 100% do that. Let you know how it goes.
I think the Core range, it's something that their products are really well rounded. They're not over the top on just stimulants, while they are strong though.
Yeah.
Because even the burn is 150 milligrams per scoop, so it's not even like a crazy high stimulant, but it's just a well-rounded fat burner. It's got that ability to go to that 2 scoop serve though if you want to. So none of the products are over the top on stims, but you just feel awesome on them. And then the other thing that I love about their products, the flavors are nuts.
I've only tried this by itself this morning. And it was
I actually mixed both these together today, and I don't even know. Tropic Thunder and Lemon Lime, I think.
Sherbet.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good. Like it just was a big candy sort of flavor. So, if you're looking for a new range of supplements to try out, definitely try the Core range. The aminos, I have heard that they are coming in on the next shipment. Because we've been asked when the next shipment is, I don't know because nobody seems to know delivery dates on anything.
No, you might just rock up one day and you'll have something that.
That's sometimes the case with some distributors, and because they've got no idea either. Because it could rock up, in 2 weeks, and they're like, "Oh, we've got a container coming," or it could be another 3 months away. So. Don't know, but when the aminos come, we'll be loading up on them. They'll be coming in as well, and we'll be topping up the rest of the range. So we are low on a few flavors out of a few, but there's still a bit of stock in the store. So if you want to try the range, get on top of it because I'm hoping we have a restock soon, but it could be months away.
Yeah, we don't know.
Don't really know, but give it a go. All right. So that's that one, and then the other one I want to touch on. We talked about this when. We did our first video was Iso-Ripped.
We did.
So Iso-Ripped is the iso-based protein from Primabolics. It's now in stock. Have you tried it since? Have you used it?
I used it in my granola. Yeah. It was delicious.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. No, it's very sweet. I had 2 scoops, but
yeah,
it was, like I said before, incredibly well flavored, easy on the stomach, easy to mix. It's just a good isolate to use. There's
great all-rounder sort of isolate.
There's nothing bad I can say.
No.
I can't, it's not the best thing I've used in the world. Actually, it is. It's the best thing I've ever used. It's actually made my
best tasting protein ever. Yeah. But yeah, really well-rounded sort of protein. High protein, low fat, low sugar, low carb, all the fun shit.
Yep.
Does have the carnitine in there, like what we talked about with the whey ripped.
Yep.
Give or take.
That's the ripped factor.
Yeah, that's the ripped.
Yep.
But we've got 6 flavors in stock at the moment. So we've got banana, chocolate, choc hazelnut, the strawberry white chocolate, vanilla cake batter, and what other one did I write down? Salted caramel.
Salted caramel was always a win.
All 6 of those are in stock. They're $79.95 for 25. Yeah, 25 serves. So it's about $10 more than the normal whey ripped.
Yep.
But they're in store, online, all the good fun stuff. We've even got a tub here at the gym if you want to try some after your workout. But that's one of the newer products that we've got in. We also had a top up of the full Primabolics range. So all the grind flavors we talked about, they're all in stock now. Fantastic. So we've got great strawberry, kiwi, mango, pineapple now in. Their creatine is back in, which is now, it is now a 4-blend creatine rather than it being just a straight monohydrate. If that takes your fancy. It's predominantly monohydrate with some HCl, I think, and maybe creatinine. I can't remember all of it. Sorry if I'm butchering it, Will, but we'll have a look at that next week.
It's creatine. It's the same thing.
It's a good blended creatine, but that's in stock now. 100 serves for $49.95, so good value creatine.
Yeah, very good value.
The capsules are topped up. Restore and
Estro. Primal Test.
Primal Test. What? That was a big blank. Primal Test is back in stock too. So they're all topped up, all good to go. That's about it. I'm trying to even think with other stuff in the store. There's not a huge amount new right now. There is a new pre-workout that we've got coming in called Poison, which is an awesome name for a pre-workout. If you want to drink your poison.
We did touch on this product, just before. You did say your first product you used was Poison.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have ephedra, this new one.
We don't know that. So yeah, it's an interesting product or actually I say interesting for pre-workouts a lot. It's the same as a lot of them, but a good all-rounder sort of high stim pre.
I think it's taking high stim to a level where it doesn't quite need to be yet. That's what I personally think.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it properly when it comes in next week, but that one is one for your stimulant lovers.
Oh yes,
so
very much is. Yep.
It's a good value one, but that'll be in stock next week. Otherwise, that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm happy with that because I think the camera's going to turn off in a second anyway.
Okay, we'll just cut it here.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a... the first part of the video is going to be fantastic. The next part's just going to be... There's going to be a lot of reels.
That'll be some reels.
By the way, follow the Australian Muscle Instagram page. We post reels from shorts from we do like this. Didn't realize it was so funny sometimes, but I guess it's just your editing as well.
It's whatever I find. Yeah. All right. I think I'm happy with that.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm not going to do the same sign-off that Kimmo does all the time, but...
there it goes.
And there it is. I think we're out.